Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Today we're going to be talking about our upcoming scheme, Content Creatives, which is a 4 skills initiative in partnership with SharpFutures, who I am joined by today. On the call today, we also have Carleen, who's our sign language interpreter. So make sure that you pin her if you need to see the sign language. I am Charlotte. I'm the Partnership and Skills Manager at Channel 4, and I run some of our 4 skills training schemes. And I will now pass over to Ewan and Helen to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Ewan Vinnicum-Wallace. I work at SharpFutures. I used to work in the TV business for about 20 odd years, so I'm really excited to help train new people into the industry and get them kind of future employment. So I work at SharpFutures with Helen. Hello,
I'm the course producer for Content Creatives. I have about 13 years experience making creative digital content for various corporations and brands. I've done everything from videos to games and social media, of course, and I'm really looking forward to getting started.
Fantastic, thank you both. So today what we really wanted to do is we're just going to give you a bit more information on the scheme, but really it's an opportunity for you to ask any questions you might have. They might be questions about the application form itself. So don't worry, it's not going to be, there's no judgment here. So if you're lost on a question, you just want a bit more advice on how to answer something, please just pop it in the questions and answers box at the minute and we can pick that up. And also if you'd like a bit more information just on what the training covers, what the scheme placement itself covers, fire away. We are happy to answer everything. Me and Ewan have worked on the course on the pilot scheme, and as Helen says, she's got lots of experience in doing this kind of thing, so we'll be happy to help. So I'll just cover off a little bit of what the scheme is overall. So it's a 14-week scheme. We're looking to start at the beginning of May, so I won't try and do the maths of what that means when it ends, but it'll basically be taking you across the summer. It'll begin with 6 weeks training, which will largely be remote, but there will be some in-person elements, and that will be with SharpFutures. So you'll see lots of the lovely Ewan and Helen through those 6 weeks. And you'll also get a chance to meet the companies where you'll be placed. So I should mention at this stage that on this scheme, it's a little bit different to our pilot. So what we're going to have is more partners than just 4 Studio. So there will be placements available at 4 Studio, but we are also working with, and let me get my list up, we have Born Ugly, Creative Race, Dubbit, McCann Leeds and Social, who will be offering placements as well. So the majority of those are creative agencies, so around marketing and digital, but Dubbit also do a lot of work in the metaverse, which I'm sure, well, hopefully you're not my age, because that's very futuristic to me, but a lot of you I'm sure are very familiar with that. So they're all quite different. What I would say is just be really honest when you're applying about what your skills and interests are, because each company offers something really unique. And what we really want for you is just to get the most out of it. So we will help you, and we'll decide which company we think will give you the best chance of developing those skills. And the companies themselves are fully committed to training up young people. So I think it will be absolutely brilliant. I'm always very jealous of our schemes. So I'm going to hand over really quickly now to Ewan and Helen, who can talk you through a little bit of what will be covered in the training.
Great, thank you, Charlotte. So as Charlotte said, we did a pilot last September and October time, and it went really well, which is brilliant, because then Channel 4 came back and said we want to go bigger and better. So I'm hoping many of you that will be watching today will apply and go through the application process. And we can touch upon dates and kind of when to do things later on, Charlotte, after we've talked about kind of what's actually on the course. But you get to do some, it's quite a 6 weeks. We have all the trainees for 6 weeks, and we do quite a bit of intense training with you. So Monday to Friday, you'll get a timetable of kind of learning, but it's all really exciting learning. There's a mixture of sessions. It's all based on Zoom. There could be some face-to-face where we do it in Leeds, in the city centre. And you'll get to learn a whole host of things together with learning Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop. And if you progress through Premiere Pro and Photoshop, you might even get the chance to kind of learn After Effects through an online system that we've got at SharpFutures. So I'll pass on to Helen to talk about kind of some of the individual sessions that might be coming up?
Yeah, so in the 6 weeks, the goal is to kind of prepare the candidates for going into their placements. So giving them lots of different skills in terms of, and preparing them in terms of, you know, what it's going to be like, who you might meet, how to introduce yourself properly, those sorts of things. But also we're going to give you skills like, as you had mentioned, skills in Adobe, video making, photo editing, and we're going to be setting you briefs each week during the training so you can practice those skills and build up a portfolio. In terms of the sessions that we're going to be running, we can running anything from you'll learn all about creative projects, for example, and the very beginning of a creative project, which is sort of the development phase, all the way through to how you deliver it and how that works in a professional environment. We'll also be doing lots of stuff on team dynamics and how to communicate effectively. We'll be looking at things like creative briefs, which is a document that you might get sort of at a creative agency, which tells you what you're going to be working on and how to approach a problem creatively. And lots of other things that will give you social skills at work, basically preparing the candidates for sort of the best placement they're going to get, and how to communicate and really enjoy it and really find out what skills you have that you can really go on and have a great career with.
And you'll learn kind of ideas generation techniques and tips that we'll give you. And we'll also give you lots of training in how to kind of create a project and how to kind of formulate your ideas together, how to pitch them effectively and communicate them, and how to work in a creative production team, how to look at social media and analyze it, what makes a good social media post. You'll get to learn how to do copywriting, so you'll get to learn kind of how to actually construct that perfect digital post. And also you'll get to review content and meet people, industry experts that will get to kind of run sessions for you as well. And there's some really good sessions. And what we found with the with everyone who's training last year, they really enjoyed kind of the mixture of you learn, like you have self-learning where you're kind of going online on the online systems, but then you've got nice sessions, breakout sessions, group sessions. So it's a really nice mix of skills and abilities. And also we'll kind of just get you office ready. So when you are going for that next creative job, you've got something on your CV and all your skills and abilities, you've really been able to kind of consolidate all your skills and abilities and build on them to get that next job in the creative digital sector, which is growing and growing and growing in Leeds. And so that's why we're really keen to work with Channel 4 and deliver a brilliant course. And also you get to meet a fantastic cohort. And so all the other people on your course, you'll get to network with them as well. So who knows, that may lead to a future job as well for you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All sounds amazing. And when you get to the placement stage, I should say as well, you'll obviously be there for 8 weeks and you will be very well prepared by the time that you turn up. You will still have some contact with SharpFutures and the 4 Skills team throughout your placements. We won't just let you go. You will be very much still part of the team. And you'll have lots of contact as well with your overall cohort, as Ewan said. Really important, we think, the group element in all of our schemes. You just get to know, you get a really nice peer network, which is just really important, I think, when you start in your career. So some of the very practical things that we should mention is that it is based in Leeds. All of the placements are based in Leeds, and applicants can be from anywhere across Yorkshire. You should also be between 18 and 24 years old, as it's a very entry-level scheme. And I think that's the only things that are particular criteria. Everything else, I should say, you don't need a relevant degree. You don't need to have done any relevant qualifications at all. As long as you've got an interest in it, that's all we want to know. When you're doing the application form, again, you don't feel like you have to say, I've produced this or I've done that. It really can just be, I absolutely love content and I really want to learn more about it. And I think it might be the thing that I want to do as a career. That's really all we're interested in. So let's have a look what we've got. Will you consider those willing to relocate? Potentially. I mean, it's a 14-week placement, so I think you've got to bear in mind that. But yeah, certainly if you're based in the region, that's absolutely fine by us. So there we go, that's that question. Does anyone else have any more questions around applications? Otherwise, we've got some things that we can answer. So I think we've covered off how long is the course, who can apply. I have mentioned as well, we'll be choosing who gets placed where. So just bear that in mind. But as I say, if you do some research on the companies, you should be able to see where fits best with your interests. So just make sure to flag those interests with us, which we will be picking up through the application. It's a paid scheme, so you'll be working full time, which is 35 hours a week, and we are doing real living wage, so that's £9.90 an hour, just so that you're aware. And we will be providing the tech throughout the placement, so don't worry if you think I haven't got a laptop that can quite cope. I certainly don't have a laptop that can cope with Adobe Creative Cloud, so that's something that will be taken care of while you're on the course. And again, the software itself, anything that you'll be expected to use, you will be provided with, so don't feel like you have to be dipping in your pockets to get the right stuff. And applications are still open for another week and a half. So applications close on Monday, the 28th of February. So if you are interested, make sure that you get those applications in. Now, Owen has asked, is the scheme accessible for disabled young talent? So people with hearing loss. All of our schemes, we make endeavours to make sure that they are accessible for anyone. So I would say yes. All we say is that during your application, if you could just totally flag with us what that means, so what you would require, and we can put in place things to support you on that. But we just need to know up front so we get it right, is the correct answer. Is there anything else, Ewan and Helen, that you would like to flag on the scheme?
If you've, when all the applications are in on the 28th of February, we've got about 3 weeks of interviews, which will all be held on Zoom following kind of the closing date. And then we hope to confirm everyone the week of the 28th of March, because then we will give you a 4 weeks notice to then be able to tell if you're employed at the moment, or if you've got to sort out your arrangements. You've got then 4 weeks before the course starts. It will start on Bank Holiday Monday in May, which is the 2nd, I think it's 2nd of May, but we will be starting properly on the Tuesday, but on the Monday we hope to kind of be sorting out all the tech and stuff with you. So there are then 6 weeks of our kind of boot camp training, where we'll be kind of teaching you loads of exciting things and getting to know you all. And then you've got then, as Charlotte said, you've got 8 weeks in some really key employers across Leeds, which are really exciting in the creative sector, from the 13th of June all the way through to the 5th of August. So it's a really kind of good length of a scheme to really get your experience and make it really worthwhile. So I would say to anyone watching today, or kind of watching on catch up, to do apply. And we've tried to make the form as easy and accessible as possible. And if you have any queries or anything, there is an email address or telephone number in the frequently asked questions part of the form that you can contact SharpFutures, and we will help to answer all your questions there. So do send in any questions to us, and yeah, we look forward to reading all your applications. It's the best part of our job, is to read applications and to hear about all your stories, to then see if you can become part of our Content Creatives 2022.
Lovely stuff. And I should say that if you're watching the recording of this and you feel like you might have missed the opportunity to ask a question, as Ewan says, just drop it to us in an email. You can either get in touch with SharpFutures, or you can get in touch with the 4Skills inbox, which is just 4skills@channel4.co.uk. And even if your question is at 11 p.m. the night before the deadline, which I would not recommend, but we will do everything to get back to you. We obviously don't answer emails out of hours, I should just say, but we will make sure that we pick it up if there's anything. So do not panic if you've come to this a little bit late. We have another question. Is it just paid in the placement, or the training paid as well? The whole thing is paid, so you'll be paid the real living wage for those 35 hours throughout. And as we say, some of the learning is self-directed learning, so we don't do anything like timesheets and things like that. We just have that as a flat salary. So if you do feel, you might not be doing the full 35 hours of contact, but you're still going to get paid for those 35 hours, because we know that that's very, very important for people to have a solid wage while you're doing anything. So, we have another question. If I'm doing uni, will I be accepted or not? It is a full-time course, so we do ask that people aren't in full-time education, because you wouldn't be able to do it alongside that, especially, well, the training is essentially 9 to 5 as well as the placement, so you would be needed to be able to do it. There is flexibility, but you do have to be there when we need you there, basically. And another, you're finishing in May. Well, depends when you're finishing in May. We are beginning, so the course starts, is it the 3rd of May?
Yeah, it starts on the 3rd of May, but we need you available from the 2nd of May. So it depends on kind of your availability, because as Charlotte says, it is kind of office hours, and we will be kind of expecting you to turn up to every session and things like that. So although there is some self-learning, it's not, you can't self-timetable that, we timetable that for you.
And I should say as well that we are doing a second cohort later in the year. So that will be starting, and no problem for asking lots of questions. It's only 2. 2's not lots. 2's an absolutely fine amount. So if you do feel like there might be a little bit of overlap with your course, don't worry at all. We will be doing a course starting around September time. I'll just say
September time. We'll be looking
great.
to look, the recruitment for that and the applications would be around mid-June time for that. So you could always finish your course in May and then apply for that in June.
Yeah. And you get a nice summer break then, which I know if you have been doing a degree, I would highly recommend having a little break afterwards. I know how stressful it is. So if there is no more questions, then I think we will wrap this up. If you do think of anything afterwards, then please do get in contact with us. If you start completing the form and suddenly think, I don't know what I'm talking about here, please, again, just reach out to us. We are very much happy to answer all your questions. But otherwise, good luck. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.